Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the United Stand. Welcome to your evening edition with myself, Adam. If you didn't already know, season's over. So no more road trips, no more visiting away destinations, continuously losing. It is a crazy transfer season, as you all know. If you haven't already watched the two previous shows today from Beth, which she covered, do click down into the United Stand main page and look at them videos. We're taking it to the next level now on United Stand. I want to get your input. I want to get your comments. I want everything on all topics that I'm talking about tonight. We're getting into the top 4 targets reported by Romano and other outlets as well. There's more news on Henderson, what McLaren has been talking about in terms of McTominay, which I do not agree with. But that is that. We don't agree with a lot of what goes on at Manchester United at the moment. But that is it. Transfers is the main topic first of all, though, guys. And do get involved in the chat tonight. I'm going to be bringing up plenty of your comments as we go forward. So let's get into it. First of all, we all know the 4 main areas. Romano's been talking about it. We've got obviously the right back, the centre mid, and the forward. Main targets apparently out of all of them reported by not only Romano would be Nunez, and we've got Torres, and we've got Timber, and obviously then we've got... who am I missing there now? Frankie de Jong, of course, the big one, the one that has started this crazy season off. It was only I can remember it being back FA Youth Cup final. I was just stood outside and all of a sudden, bang, news came forward that Frankie de Jong was United's top target this summer, who United are going to go for our midfield. You can see the links, you can see why, but I want to get your input as to what you think about it. Do you agree? Do you think that Frankie de Jong is the right type of midfielder? First of all, we know he plays in that role, but does Frankie de Jong suit that system? Does he suit what Ten Hag is going to do? And that's all that's important, really, because we can all say, yeah, we've needed this type of holding midfielder, the destroyer, but that was for previous managers. And this is what I want to get into tonight. Previous managers don't work the same way that Ten Hag works. And this new era and this new style and everything going forward is a complete change for everyone, us the fans included, and the players. So does that mean the player and the profile of player needs to change along with it? Is it a different type of centre-back? People will bring up the fact that Timber is only 5'10", but he is better on the ball. He's quicker on the ball. And does he read the game better? Things like that. Get your comments in. We're on a different system tonight, as you've already seen through today. So I'm going to read out what super chats I can off a different screen, and obviously read your comments off there. Cheers for all the comments, obviously coming in already. So first of all, I want to bring this up with the top 4 targets. Is that enough? That's the main question. I can already see Prince there in the super chat. Cheers for that, mate. Not 4. We need 7. 7 players. Can United get that done in one window? I mean, 4 key positions on the pitch, we know already which are serious problems. Them being down the spine. For me, realistically, if he was going to get 3 players in first, it would be right down the spine. Centre mid first, that's the most important. Then we're looking at centre back, I would say secondly, and then a forward, because it's like we said, with no Ronaldo next season, if he's going to be playing a bit part. I know we would want to play every single game, but with the Europa League coming in, the amount of games that we've got, and if Ten Hag is wanting to make an impression and go for everything, is Ronaldo going to play every single game? Who then goes into that striker role? Can we rely on Rashford? Can he be rejuvenated? First of all, though, let's start where the big issue is, the running of the show. The man in the middle, basically, the one who is going to link both defence and attack, the key position, and something that Ten Hag has spoke about himself as the main part, the main role within this team, because they're the engine, they're the one that drives the interchange, the transition of play, and that's what's important, which is why I do believe that Frankie de Jong probably is that right type of player. People will say he's not combative. He's not your sort of destroying type of midfielder. Doesn't get stuck in. But look at the midfielders in the Premier League right now, and tell me which one is a destroyer out there right now. There's not many. And you look at City's team. Yeah, Fernandinho, he's gone now. Last of it. But Rodri, you could say for City, Henderson for Liverpool. You're looking at Jorginho or Conte. all have changed their game and have all gone to a different level, especially the likes of Conte. He used to be that Makelele type player, but not anymore. He is that sort of moving forward player, that link player now. Clever interchange of passes, not only intercepting play, but he is a different type of player. It doesn't work like that in the Premier League anymore. It has to stick, and it has to fit the system, which is, like I said at the start of the show, the type of profile of midfielder and all the other positions we're going to talk about tonight as well has to be the one that works for Ten Hag's system more than anything. And for me, I do believe that Frankie de Jong, we know what he did under Ten Hag. We know exactly how he plays, how he moves the ball, how he interchanges, like I said, with defence and with the attack. I think he's going to be key, and I think would complement someone like Ronaldo. That's how I see Frankie de Jong actually fitting in with this system. I do believe that he is the right type and the one that Ten Hag actually wants in his team. So for me, I see why, but I can see why some of you don't agree with it as well and why it doesn't work. I mean, a lot of people will automatically go, there's plenty of players that have come from that Eredivisie, plenty of midfield players, rolling off a few names. Well, we've seen it ourselves in the likes of Donny van der Beek, Ziyech, these sort of players that haven't really smashed it or pulled up any trees within the Premier League since coming from the Eredivisie. So you would say there's the ultimate fear, but you look at it and you go, right, okay, you have to start trusting what the manager wants. If he thinks that player is going to be right for this, and let's be honest, the way Ten Hag plays will suit the Premier League. It is fast, it's frenetic. Every player covers a lot of ground, and we know that Frankie is going to do that. We know that maybe a Donny van der Beek coming back into the team would also do that. So, got to trust the manager, and you've got to think, look, yeah, we can work with that type of midfielder. In terms of where we're at with Frankie de Jong at the moment, obviously you've seen the reports in all the media outlets. You've seen journalists talking about it. Romano's talked about it as well. I've seen a few others. Obviously, we're looking at Xavi actually wanting to keep hold of Frankie de Jong. Laporte has come out and said, the president of Barcelona, the man who's actually somehow turned Barcelona around to fit within financial fair play. How he has done that with what they were going through is beyond me. I still don't know how they've managed that. But he's actually said, look, if finances dictate, then there's obviously going to be a deal that is there to be made. They have had offers. I'm guessing United aren't the only team that are in for Frankie de Jong. That would be crazy for a player of his quality. And the price that is reportedly going to be enough to get Frankie out of Barcelona. So looking at the situation as it is, I would see this one being the sort of transfer that drags on through the summer. The one that you're like, oh God, here we go. Here's the saga. Because we don't know where Barcelona are at yet. You're looking at a situation where Barcelona are not needing to sell just yet, but are looking to obviously see what they can get in first. And obviously we're hearing that Rafinha is now pretty much earmarked for Barcelona as well. So you're thinking, how are they going to finance that? How are they going to get that money in as well as paying the wages? So the more players that do go into Barcelona, the more confident I am of actually getting Frankie de Jong over the line, I'll be honest. And that's going to be purely down to Ten Hag. Forget about Man United, because if Ten Hag wasn't at Manchester United, I don't think Frankie de Jong would give us. I don't think he'd give us a time of day, to be honest. I don't think he would even look United's way. Europa League, there is a big law, and this is where you're going to see the power of Ten Hag and how well respected he is by, especially these Dutch players or players that he knows well. I would probably go into the German mode of player with that as well, from his experience with Bayern Munich under Pep and what he knows and how well he's respected. So if Frankie de Jong comes into Manchester United, you can literally put that all down on Ten Hag's shoulders as to why he's actually come to Manchester United. Nowhere there with a super chat. Fabinho, Rodri, Ndidi, Rice, Partey, Højbjerg, Chelsea need a destroyer. De Jong can't cover defence alone. Need destroyer too. No to Nunes as well. Well, I would say on that, mate, I think you're definitely right in terms of we need another one. But we're having to look down the realistic Manchester United road right now, which is, can we get more than 4 players in? We know we definitely need a centre-back. We know we need that midfielder. So I understand exactly what you're saying. Is there a midfielder out there? We just let one of them go to Aston Villa in Kamara. They moved quick, signed that one. Where were United in all of this? Where was Manchester United when Kamara went? Do you know what I mean? It's happened quite a bit now in terms of players. And United actually being caught cold. We're not going to get a Declan Rice. I don't see Declan Rice coming. I wouldn't put it past United throwing a stupid amount of money at Declan Rice. But let's be fair. If you're Rice, you're looking at bigger fish than Manchester United. He's obviously likes United, but there's better teams right now for him in his development. I'm not saying Ten Hag isn't the right man, but this is a project which is starting afresh at Manchester United. I think Rice is ready now, whereas De Jong, I think, rejuvenated, I think, probably the right type of player that Ten Hag needs right now, let alone what all those United fans are thinking and what we need and what we've thought we've needed the last 3 years. That doesn't really come into it anymore. It's changed. Ten Hag is the man now, and Ten Hag needs the one that needs backing. It has to be his word and his player to fit his system, like I said. So I don't even know if Declan Rice would even be on Ten Hag's radar right now. I'm just reading through some more of your chats there. And you know what? There's a few people bringing up the likes of Fred. And obviously we're going to touch on McTominay and stuff like that. But let's be honest. The midfield right now to accompany the likes of De Jong, if he came in, it's a little bit of a worry because Matic and Mata leaving, obviously, as we know, Pogba going. There isn't many options for us. So I do understand. And it would not surprise me if another midfielder came in. But where were United when these players were coming up? Where were United when Kamara was there? You know, you have to be ready for this. Tuamini, where are United for these type of players? Unless there's someone we don't know about. But then again, we've lost our top head scouts now. So who is looking at these players? I don't know. There's been no announcement of a player coming in. There's no announcement of new scouts coming in, unless I've missed it. I don't know. So who is in charge of it? Is it purely down to Murto? As Ten Hag said, look, I know who I need already. These are my targets. Go get them. Because like he said, he does a lot of analysing. He spends a lot of time. The man gave up his holiday in the Caribbean to start work at Manchester United. So you know how dedicated he is and how much football he watches. And let's not forget, we don't know how long this deal was in place for. This could have been wrapped up in plenty of time, Ten Hag being Manchester United's new manager. It really could. So who's to say that the targets haven't already been earmarked? Who's to say McLaren wasn't doing some work? Do you know what I mean? People like this is where it all comes, it all gets interesting. Super chat from John Garcia there. Edson Alvarez ticks all the boxes to turn into a world-class destroyer behind Frankie de Jong. Won't be as expensive and is essential for Ajax to break down play. How many Ajax players can we get? There's a question for you. That's how many. I mean, we ruined Donny van der Beek. We took their best manager that's been there in years. And now we're talking about taking their best players as well. I mean, you know, it's one thing actually saying, yeah, this guy fits, but let's not forget there is another team involved here, which is Ajax. And you know how they run. They don't let everyone go. They've lost a manager. It does look like Timber, which we're going to talk about next, is earmarked for the next signing for Manchester United. So which way do we go? Do we look at it and say, look, we just need to act like United and go in and get these players? Or do we have to take a step back and go, we're not as powerful as we once was? Yeah, we could probably throw stupid money at these players, but let's be fair, that's got us absolutely nowhere. And probably in the mess that we're in right now, if we're honest with ourselves. See, never thought Frankie was on the table and think the club should avoid marquee signings. But if Erik ten Hag wants De Jong in, then his only marquee signing I go for. Would you class Frankie de Jong as the marquee signing? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Is Frankie de Jong that? He was one of these prospects like Donner that came out of Ajax. And because he went to Barcelona, he's not tore it up. He was on stupid wages. And this is a conversation I've had before on other shows where it's like, well, is he a marquee signing just because of the price tag? I mean, let's be fair. It's going to be nearly half the price of what Harry Maguire is. And no one's calling that a marquee signing, are they? What is a marquee signing these days? I don't see Frankie de Jong as a marquee signing. I really don't. I see him as a player that Erik ten Hag has worked with before. Yeah, it may cost a little bit more than our other targets this summer, but let's be honest. You're looking at it going, he is that young Dutch midfielder who played alongside Donny van der Beek. Is he marquee? I don't think he is. Does the price tag make it marquee? Interesting. I don't know. Joshua in with a super chat there. Our first preseason game is in 7 weeks' time. Let's hope we have the bulk of the signings in by then. Do you know what? With Ten Hag in on that one, Joshua, mate, I do believe that he is going to want everything done and dusted as quick as possible in terms of ins and outs. It doesn't always work that way, we know, but the nitty-gritty, I think, needs to be done and dusted quite quickly for Ten Hag. I think he's the type of man, and the way he's come across already, I do believe is that type of like, right, let's get this done. I need as much time as I possibly can to actually work with these players in pre-season, see what they've got, because there's some players there that obviously he knows he can't get rid of everyone, but he is going to have to look at them and know if that player is good enough to work in his system, to work alongside the players that he's bringing in, or do they then go on the peripheral, on the outskirts of the team? The second string, does he like other players that aren't quite in that first team right now at United? Let's not forget, he's got the likes of Ahmad, Palestre, he's got Garner coming back, he's got all the youth teams to pick from. He's going to want to put all them in that pre-season as well, and then work with bringing in as well, try to integrate both. So on that note, I do believe that he is going to want to work fast because he has got an awful lot to do. And the fact that he's already in working well ahead of schedule with no pre-season break tells me everything you need to know about Erik ten Hag, because he is, and has come across, like I said, the man who would want things sorting very quickly. It's in the past, and you look at what he's done at Ajax. If the player doesn't work, quick, gone, bang. No, doesn't come back in. Once the player brings him in, does he fit the system? Comes in, gets a chance. If it doesn't work, out you go. One chance, see you later. I do believe that he is that type of man that's just going to say, look, no, not quite. Needs a bit more work. Do we need to bring a player in for that, or can we work with what we've got? That's why everything is going to happen quickly. I do agree on that one. Alea with the super chat. Cheers, mate. Matthias de Ligt would be a good option since we haven't since he hasn't signed a new contract with Juve and had connection with Ten Hag also. Yeah, in his first reign at Ajax. This is where you go like, okay, the players that are available, and you look at players that are available, like De Jong, you would say then, like Alea says then in the super chat with Matthias de Ligt. Yeah, both players suit. I would say Timber is one of them that's on that list as well. And all the players you're looking at all come into like that central defensive sort of berth, the defensive role, and one midfielder. Because I think all the other midfielders have just gone by the by. I don't see Phillips being an option now. He's not going to leave Leeds while they're in the Premier League. Definitely not to play against his boyhood team for their arch rivals, Manchester United. Definitely not. So the players that are available, do they suit? The easy ones to get hold of. This is usually what Manchester United do in a transfer window. Who's available easy? Who can we get easy? And we go and get them. It's like Varane. Fell into our lap last season. Yeah, we're all happy about it. Sancho pretty much was the next one earmarked by Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, to leave Germany. Fell into our lap, even though we should have had that deal done the summer before. And then Ronaldo. We simply bought Ronaldo because we couldn't handle him going to Manchester City. And effectively, it was the man that broke the seal over all the power and control that Ole had. And that's where we went wrong under Ole, Ronaldo, in my opinion. So all them transfers in the summer were easy for Manchester United. We didn't have to compete with anyone for any of them players. Let's not kid ourselves. Can United go out and make a signing that's out there that a few teams would want a player? Like we know with De Jong, Are we actually going to act like Manchester United of old and go, right, we need this player. Ten Hag needs this player. There's no other midfielders left out there for us. We've got to go and get them. Welcome to the second month of your membership, Kevin Walsh. That Malcia kid looking good in Conference League final right now. Can he be switched to right back? I don't want to be switching anyone. I don't want you know what, utility players, jack of all trades. Nah, not for me. Forget it. I don't think we need a master of one, not jack of all trades right now. I think that's the best way to go forward on that one, mate. Gaz S with the super chat. Ajax have a long history of selling everybody. They do, but in spells, they sieve them out. They go out a bit by bit to fund their next venture. Very rarely that they all go. You maybe get 2 or 3 at most, and you look at that and go, right, is Anthony going this summer? Timber looks like he is off. You've got all players all over the place at Ajax. How many are they going to let go, as well as the manager this time as well, which is a key one. So the new man coming in, he's got to look at everyone he's got as well. So that's interesting. Cheers for that, Alan Newman as well. See, Slow Sports News there. Despite who United are linked with, who is your who is your changes in in that team that's would work well with Ten Hag's system? Well, on that one, I would definitely say Frankie de Jong and Timber come right in because he's worked with them both. You could put in, like we just said, Matthias de Ligt. Work with him, knows the system, knows exactly how Ten Hag is going to play and what he wants from him and what he demands from his players. They've all won things with him. So I'd say there was 3 there straight away. What does that mean for everyone else within the squad? I'm going to go on to Timber now. So Timber, honestly, I think for that price, United should just go, yep, no problem. You've got a sell-on factor. It benefits the club commercially. He's a player that's worked with Erik Ten Hag, like I said, and has won with Erik Ten Hag. He played over 43 games last season, hardly missed a game, played every single Champions League game. I think he missed 3 games through injury in the Eredivisie. So he shows how consistent he is and how he works. And even under the demands of Erik Ten Hag, look at the amount of games the lad's played. That says a lot. That he knows, and Ten Hag knows his players. He knows them inside and out and knows exactly where the boundaries are with them. If you've got a defender there that can play over 43 games in a season at the highest level, all Champions League games, that's all 8 that Ajax played last season, all the Eredivisie and the Cup, he played in all of them and played a big part. Even bagged a few goals, 3 goals, I think, and 4 assists he hit last season, Timber. Very quick. Knows what Ten Hag wants. Ten Hag knows his limitations. Answering that question is a no-brainer for me. 30 million? I'm sorry, that is chump change for Manchester United right now. I think we'll touch on Henderson in a minute. I mean, you could literally go and buy Timber for Henderson and pay for his wages for the next, what? God knows. I mean, I don't even think his wages are going to be that astronomical. That is the type of player that Manchester United should be looking at. In my opinion, I think United should be going ahead and looking at all that type of player, not the big wage ones. We shouldn't be having to attract players with wages. If we start doing that, we start going down the old road of like, well, this is why we are in the position we are now. 58 points, 0 goal difference. With all the world beaters that we've got in our team on astronomical wages, it's our worst Premier League season ever. Red flag, red flag, red flag straight away, because I'm looking at it going, Timber, 30 mil, sell-on factor, young, potential to get even better than he already is, quick, knows the system, easy, simple, in my opinion. Get that deal done and dusted, get it signed, sealed and delivered. Let's move on. It should be easy to make. Obviously, Edwin van der Sar will be on the other end, and we know how quickly moves are done. We've seen what happened with Donny van der Beek and how quick and smooth that transition was. That was largely down to Edwin van der Sar. He knows Erik Ten Hag. He knows Erik Ten Hag very, very well. It is an easy and one of the easiest transactions you're ever going to get. So for me, done. Go get it done. Just make that happen, United. It's easy and fits right into what we need. Matthias de Ligt. not signing his deal at Juventus. Interesting. Would he be another centre-back option? Really, Timber is number one. Pau Torres, we'll move on to him now. He's part of what Romano was talking about as another option, and is another option. He said it's one or the other. I agree. I would not buy Pau Torres if I brought Timber in. Honestly, if you're going to ask me right now, which one would you go for? If you had to choose between a Pau Torres and a Jurriën Timber, I would go with Timber straight away because I know he's worked with this manager. And I've said it at the start of the show, and I will keep saying it. The manager needs the backing. He needs what he wants and what he knows works. It's as simple as that. I think that Erik ten Hag, if you offered him the choice, simple. It's simple. I do prefer Timber over Pau Torres. Pau Torres has got his plus points. He has. And it's hard to say and hard to judge on someone like Pau Torres because Villarreal are not a team you want to watch a lot of. I mean, yeah, they did well in the Champions League. And let's be honest, this is a team that got to semi-final. Even United destroyed them twice. Well, we didn't destroy them, but we managed to score 5 goals past them. And you know United and the way we've performed this season, we've only scored 57 goals in the Premier League, but we still managed to knock 5 goals past Villarreal. I don't think, honestly, and yeah, it may come back to bite me on the ass, but I don't think he's right for the Premier League. I don't. Or should I rephrase that and say, I don't think he's right for Manchester United right now in the position that we're in. That's what I would say. I don't think he is that type of player that can come right in now under the V. But if he went to a City, I think he would do well. I think he would do well next to Virgil van Dijk at Liverpool, or even slot in instead of Rudiger at Chelsea because they're already set. Let's not forget, we are changing absolutely every single position in this team pretty much under Ten Hag. We're nowhere near ready. By the time Ten Hag's had 3 years, which is what he should be getting minimum, because that's what Ollie got, and the funds to do it, I guarantee you will have a different player in every single position, maybe even the goalkeeper, by the time that Ten Hag has had his 3rd year. That's what Ollie did. He got a player for every single position. It was all changed. I just don't think Pau Torres is that one that works for Ten Hag right now. I do believe that Jurriën Timber is the man to go for. I think he should be the main one for the defence if we're looking at a centre-back because of the reasons that I've just said. Because he is already moulded in the Ten Hag way and knows exactly what's coming. And Ten Hag knows what's coming, more importantly. Slow Sports News with the Super Chats. How do you feel about Martial coming back? Martial. Oh, God, has he got the work rate? People say. I mean, you ask Ricky, he'll tell you he works hard, he tracks back. I've seen it in close and person. He doesn't. He really doesn't. And for me, yeah, I think there possibly is a role if we can't bring a forward in for him. But I think he's 2nd, 3rd choice right now. I do believe United would want to bring another striker in before him. I think United would probably, I can't say Rashford ahead of him because Rashford has been diabolical this season. But let's be honest, I do think that if United don't manage to pull their fingers out in a transfer window, that Martial has to come back in. But if he shows any sort of sign of, I'm not too sure about this, then it's not going to happen with Ten Hag, is it? It isn't going to happen. Cheers for the super chat again, mate. Oh, you guys are on fire tonight. I mean, centre-backs, one centre-back comes in, and I think we can definitely call out Harry Maguire. Because Harry Maguire goes down to 3rd choice at best if one more centre-back comes in. Because let's be honest, you ain't putting a World Cup winner on the bench behind Harry Maguire. So if we get Timber in, or if it is Pau Torres or another centre-back, Harry Maguire 100% drops down to 3rd at least in the pecking order. And let's not forget, the way that Lindelof plays and how more agile Lindelof is. And yeah, he has his flaws. He isn't as strong. He's not as good in the air. But is that what Ten Hag is looking for? If it came, I actually think, and I know what Ten Hag said in the press conference regarding Maguire. And Beth was talking about the captaincy earlier on. I think he goes more than this. I mean, Harry Maguire for captain, Harry Maguire to even start for Manchester United next season, because I said it then, if a centre-back comes in, Harry Maguire doesn't start for me, don't get ahead of Varane. Not in a million years. So if Ten Hag brings his centre-back in, Maguire is definitely out. So the captaincy is gone, 100%. I think Harry Maguire's place in the team is gone without even blinking an eye, I don't think. So if Ten Hag comes in, and I'll say it again, if you offered him Lindelof or Maguire, judging off how Ten Hag plays, I think he goes with Lindelof. So there's a chance that Harry Maguire goes to 4th in the pecking order. And that would officially be the end of the old reign of Manchester United. The overpriced Englishman that United go and buy, now 4th in the pecking order under the new manager who actually has a plan. So, and I do believe that Maguire is going to be the biggest test for Erik Ten Hag and how much power he actually has got. Because if Maguire comes back into this team straight away, then you know something is wrong. Because we know we're buying a centre-back. We know we've already got Rafael Varane, a World Cup winner, won everything, multiple Champions League, 4 Champions Leagues. I mean, the man's brought 20 odd winners' medals to this Manchester United team this season. How it's not worked is beyond me. Yeah, he's got his injury records, but when everyone's fit, Harry Maguire don't make that team. I would love to see a Timber and Varane in defence. That would be a nice combination. Then you can look at the likes of the right-back position and things like that. And we've already talked about that on multiple shows. Right-back would be one that you would probably say is of interest to Manchester United and Ten Hag. We already talked about Wan-Bissaka wanting out. Andy Bruno, cheers for the super, mate. Adam, Ten Hag will add discipline to Bruno's game. 100% agree. Bruno needs discipline. We've seen the ball, the Hollywood pass that he played against Crystal Palace that put us in trouble. He's played that ball numerous times all season. I would say 8 times out of 10, it hits the point. But he's right on the edge at the moment, Bruno, where it's like he's trying to do these things, but none of the rest of the team is involved in it. He needs to be more of a team player, in my opinion, rather than the individual that he's playing as at the moment. I love Bruno, but I'm not blind. I can see. I'm not scared to criticise because these performances have dropped off a cliff. Not as much as some of the other players in this team, I'll tell you that. But one thing with Bruno is his work rate is there. And Erik Ten Hag, like Andy said there in the super chat, will bring that to the table. I think he will look at Bruno and go, there's a man that I can mould into my way of playing. And I can't wait to see what he does with him. I really can't. I'm intrigued to see if Donny comes back and the competition within that role, especially if he does bring De Jong in as well. That is going to be really interesting to see how Bruno, even if he stays central. I know Mark's talked about it a few times on the shows where he said, look, Bruno could play on the right. We just don't know how he's going to work and how he's going to use him. But he has got that Ten Hag about him, that work rate, that never say die, keep going. Even though he's playing so bad, he still keeps going. And he keeps playing bad, but you've got to admire the man for keeping on going and sticking to his principles and how he plays. But you're right, he does need a bit of discipline. 100% he needs discipline. Nate with a super. Cheers, mate. What did McLaren say about McTominay, Adam? Oh, my God. Let's get into it. We might as well. I'll talk on Nunez in a second, actually. But since you brought it up, Nate, let's just talk about it. McLaren saying you can rely on McTominay pretty much. When you put him on the pitch, he does that job. And that is where I start to go. And you remember when Erik Ten Hag had that interview? I don't know if you all watched it all the way through, when he was asked a question regarding Ralf Rangnick's input. And he was talked about Louis van Gaal and his comments and what he said about the commercial side of it. And Erik Ten Hag just simply said, look, I draw my own line. That's my line. And I will do everything else myself. So he will listen, but he does have a line to draw. I just hope he's got that line when it comes to Steve McCarron, when he starts talking about Scott McTominay. Because if Scott McTominay is that, and another, what is it with these coaches and these managers that see Scott McTominay as this brilliant player, this leader, Ralf Rangnick called him? And I love Ralph, but no, Scott McTominay has not got leadership qualities. I do not care what expert, what pundit comes up and who wants to challenge me on Scott McTominay. I've watched this guy week in, week out, 40-odd games this season. I've been there to all of them. He's not a leader. He's not a leader. He isn't as good as Phil Neville or Nicky Butt was. He's not even fit to lace their boots. Scott McTominay, and this is where I said Ten Hag needs that line. He needs that sort of foam, doesn't he, that the referees have. There's your line. There's your line, Steve. Yes, and all your yes fake Dutch talk. Sorry. Stay there. Stay on that side of it, because you will not be deciding who goes into my team. I hope Ten Hag says it like that, because Steve McLaren's saying, look, he goes out there, does that job for you, guaranteed. Well, no, he does not. And hopefully he will see that. And these coaches have to look past these training sessions as well, I think. Not every player trains well. It's all about what's up here. Yeah, you can run a bleep test at a certain pace, certain standard. You can train harder than anyone. Run wherever you want to run. Do you know what I mean? Win the shuttle run, win the five-a-side, winning team and all that. But if your arse goes, when you're out on that Old Trafford pitch, which ultimately does quite a lot for a lot of these players, then nah, I'm not having it. You need to look at what these players' mentalities are like. And I think that's where it's important for Ten Hag. Listen to what McLaren has to say, because he has got some great coaching techniques. We've seen it. It has worked before for this football club, but don't let him talk much. That's all I'll say. Don't let him say too much, because if he's talking about Scott McTominay in that sort of tone, then it starts to worry me again. And it's like this whole, what is it with Scott McTominay conversation again? My God, why does it keep coming up? It shouldn't come up. It's not there. It's the non-conversation with Scott McTominay. He's a good squad player. End of. That's it. When the Europa League game comes around and we need someone to come in and give a break to the likes of De Jong, or maybe even a Bruno or Donny van der Beek, there's Scott. Thank you. That's your role. Leo J with a super. Adam, are you looking forward to seeing Sancho under Ten Hag? We might see how dangerous he can be, like he was at Dortmund. Great question, mate. Leo, superb one, mate, because he worked under a system at Dortmund, and why he was so good, why his stats held up there at the best in European football for so long, in goals and assists, because he was in a system. He came in under Ole, and it was, dare I say it, freestyle football. It was a case of like, go and do your thing. Yeah, but what am I doing? What's my role? That's what it looked like. It looked like chicken. Go make something happen. It was hit and hope and waiting for moments all the time. And Ralph came in. We've seen a bit better, but just didn't have enough time to work with. And yes, I am really looking forward, Leo, to Sancho and Ten Hag coming in, because he worked under a system style, and we know Ten Hag has this system, and that's when you get the best out of Sancho. Another player that I am hopeful for the future, definitely. And I do think he will jump on board with Ten Hag straight away. Offset, welcome to the United Stand Members Club. Nate in with another super chat. Adam, you've seen him live. What does he do? I'm taking it you mean Scott McTominay. Yeah, Scott McTominay has a tendency, if you watch him closely, he'll have moments when it looks like he's that player that everyone's talking about. And it's usually when the game sort of turned all of a sudden, or the opposition have just lost a bit of momentum, and Scott comes in. When your chips are down, and everyone talks about him as like this robust, strong character in midfield, he's not. He really isn't. And what Scott McTominay does is he drops down too deep, because he hasn't got the qualities to take a ball on the half term in the position he should be in, which is in that midfield role. And that's why our defence, and people will say, well, no, Scott's back there at least. But no, he's in the way. He should be further up, breaking up the play, further up the pitch, rather than near the centre-backs. And watch how many times he gets stuck on the ball outside the centre-backs this season, because managers have started to pick up on what Scott McTominay's capabilities are, which isn't a lot. He drops back because he needs room to run with the ball to do what he does. And that isn't a lot, because his passing ability is really poor, in my opinion. And he drops back deeper because he hasn't got that quality to take the ball on the half term under pressure. He hasn't got that in his locker. And if you weren't able to take that ball quickly and you've void your position in the field, which is in midfield, just to go and get the ball. Well, Ten Hag's centre-backs take the ball forward, so he is going to have to naturally be further forward. Has he got the capabilities then to be the one that takes the ball off the centre-back further up the pitch where there's more traffic? No, he's not. That's it. He's a liability. He's a liability. Guaranteed a yellow card every game. He does get stuck in that sense, but yeah, liability-wise, definitely. Nate, thanks for that super, mate. Good job. Cheers for that offset, mate. Thanks for the super. Megan's dad, McTominay, chat undermines everything. Oh. And let's see. Yep, that is it on the supers. Cheers, everybody, on them ones for now. It is going to be interesting how he molds some of the players that are still here. I think he will realise that Maguire doesn't fit straight away. I may be wrong. Excuse me. Erik Ten Hag may see something in Harry Maguire that we've not seen. He may, and let's not be wrong, Maguire didn't start off bad at Manchester United. There was a defender in there at times. But whether it be the coaching, everything going on behind the scenes, the leaks, the unrest within the squad, he just lost everything. Whether it happened in Greece and he's not recovered from that, the boos, being cheered off the pitch, his confidence is at an all-time low. Can Erik Ten Hag turn that around? I'd be surprised. And you know what? I'd hold my hands up and say, well done, Eric. And well done, Harry, for turning your careers around. But honestly, I think he will look at it and go, not going to fit. And let's not forget, Ten Hag has put his reputation on the line here. He's not going to wait around for a 29-year-old defender to get better. Harry Maguire should have peaked already. And that's where I think Ten Hag will look at it and go, is he the man to actually take that high line? Because he turns like a tank. And the recovery time isn't going to work. And that's when the goalkeeper comes into it, really. And David De Gea, he's going to have to learn how to play sweeper goalkeeper. Otherwise, he's going to be in trouble. Because that high line that Ten Hag likes to play is a bit of a problem if you're going to play David De Gea and Harry Maguire, which is why I don't see Maguire getting in this team. Adam, Andy and Bruno, cheers for the super chat again, mate. Adam, doubt De Jong is coming, mate. We can't spend all summer on De Jong. We should go for Neves or someone who will come. I think Neves is going somewhere else, going off that last season picture of him at Molineux. Be interesting to see where Neves goes. I've no confidence that he is going to be an easy target for United either if we want to go for him. But we've not even touched on the actual strike. I'm just getting through all the rest of these super chats. Thoughts on Erik Ten Hag's system being boring like LVG initially, given that he doesn't have the full complement of players and he is starting out patience. TJ, 100%. Thanks for the super chat. And patience is definitely what is. The fan base has to be patient with Erik Ten Hag. It's not going to fall into place straight away. There's too many moving pieces that need to be put back into place and organised. I just want to touch on Núñez. I don't think Núñez is coming. I really don't. I think this is the one area of the pitch where United are going to struggle in the transfer market. He's already apparently turned us down once. He wants Champions League football, which is fair enough. Young striker, played in the Champions League. We can't guarantee him Champions League football next season or even the season after, because United have to get back into the top four within the toughest league in the world in a transition period. So as a young player, you're looking at going, is there a better opportunity elsewhere? Well, 100% there is. And there will be if the likes of Tottenham lose Lukaku. City have already signed Haaland, so he can't go there. But Liverpool, if they lose Mane, could he go there? Is he a target there? I mean, possibilities are elsewhere for me in terms of Núñez. I do not believe he will end up at Manchester United. And it's the one position I think out of all the key positions, defence, midfield and attack that we've talked about, is the problem one for us. Because I don't know who else comes in. I think that might be a makeshift sort of signing, if any, to be honest. I do believe that is going to be the problem area. But quickly, we just need to touch on Dean Henderson and that deal. You can see it popping up on your screen as well there on the right-hand side. Dean Henderson, very, 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 very close to leaving Manchester United now. And you know what? I was talking to a few people at Crystal Palace, a few United fans regarding this. Gone. See you later. 40 million, if that is reported fee, you see you later, you got to go. Simple as. There's no point in keeping a goalkeeper when you've already got a number 2 in Heaton, and you can cash in on that and save yourself 150 grand a week in wages. Like I said, there's Jurriën Timber done, and an extra 10 million in the pot. It is a no-brainer sale. If United and Newcastle can make this deal happen, are Newcastle willing to pay 40 million? You let him go. I do think there's a goalkeeper in there. I really do. And I was just talking about goalkeepers then within Ten Hag's system. Going to be very, very interesting to see if he can change David De Gea in terms of how he plays, because he is going to have to come out of his box. And we all know that that's no nosebleed territory for David De Gea. He isn't at his most comfortable playing that role. He's the best shot stopper in the league. But as a sweeper keeper, he's a bit of a concern. Doesn't like to come out of his 6-yard box, never mind the 18-yard box. So, Super Chat says, thoughts on Ndidi and Gravidal. Oh, I mean, Ndidi is one of my favourite players and I would always bring in. Can we get him from Leicester? Are we going to get Leicester-fied with the price tag again, like we did with Harry Maguire? Does he fit Ten Hag? That is what it's all going to come down to. It is. Is Ndidi that right type of player? His injuries this season have been concerning for me more than anything. They really have. So I would say I think he's not on the radar. But if he became available, Ndidi and De Jong, there's a decent combo. That's going to cost you upwards of 100 million plus, though, and there goes the budget. But like I said, if you sold Henderson, Bailly, Jones, I mean, these sort of players, sell them, get some money in, you can sort of spread that pot and maybe bring in 2 quality players. But it's how much Leicester are going to slap us for Ndidi. That is the problem. Guys, I think that pretty much covers everything for the show. Cheers for tuning in, everybody. It's been brilliant. It's flown by on our new setup here that we've got. You'll see more of me and Beth doing these transfer shows and everything like that going forward. Now we've got loads more new content coming in, guys. Cheers for all the super chats tonight. Cheers for all the new members and current members extending their memberships. If you did want to join the United Stand membership scheme, drop down in the description of this video below. There is a link there. Choose. You do get special videos as well for members only, and all options are open as well for you in there, guys. So again, cheers for watching, everybody. I'm going to bid you farewell. Like, share, and subscribe. Drop your comments in the comment section when this video goes up on the channel later on after it finishes on the live stream. Let me know who your players are, who you'd want bringing in, and is 4 enough is the big question. Can we get more than 4 in one window, such a short window? But guys, cheers for watching. This is your